Guys, this was one of the first recommendations sent to me on this channel when I started, and also one of my first donations. And I'm like forever grateful for everyone who's been donating again. But I again want to make it clear it's not an obligation to donate, to request anything. I always read the comments, and like I'm checking the comments all the time. The donations are just there if someone wants to help me out since I started. It's not an obligation, and I've gotten a lot of donations, guys. All good. All good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't. I feel bad when people send me donations to request something, or some people feel like it's there for that. It's not. I read all of the comments, and I do a request from the comments as well. So please don't feel like you have to do that. Um, but yeah, and also someone commented that they want to hear me speak Finnish. So jos täällä on joku, joka puhuu suomea, niin moi. Olisi kiva tietää, miltä tämä kuulostaa kaikille, jotka ei puhu suomea, mutta todennäköisesti ne ei, tai mä luulen, että ne varmaan ajattelee, että tämä kuulostaa tyyli Kiinalta tai jotain. Eikö aika useat sano silleen? But yeah, I don't know if anyone understood this, if there's any Finnish speakers here. But I said that it would be interesting to know what Finnish sounds to you guys, since you don't speak Finnish. But today we're reacting to where did the Finno-Ugric people come from? Let's see what this video is about, guys.
If you've ever looked at a map of language families, you've probably noticed that almost the entirety of Europe speaks Indo-European. That is with the exception of Finland, Estonia and Hungary. Instead, they speak languages from the Finno-Ugric branch of the larger Uralic family, made up of around 30 different languages stretching all the way to North Asia. But who are these Finno-Ugric people and where did they come from? I am from one of these countries and even I was confused many years ago. Back then there was no clear answer and various vague theories competed against each other. In the myths of various Finno-Ugric groups, their ancestry is often traced back to ancient rulers and warriors, like the Finnic Kaleva or Ostis and Oges of the Komis. Meanwhile, their mythical homeland is remembered as a warm mountainous land in the south or east, a stark difference from the forests and plains they now inhabit. Archaeology and genetics have
Actually, like the Finnish language, it doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. Isn't it like one of the hardest languages? Look at my hair up here. God damn. I really need to look at myself in the mirror before I record. But isn't it like one of the hardest languages to learn? Right, it is one of the hardest languages to learn. I know that for a fact. But I just always wondered how it came to be because, you know, it doesn't sound like anything, literally.
Come a long way in the last decade, however, and many things have finally gained light. It turns out the Finno-Ugric family is much younger than once thought, and those ancient legends that were not taken seriously before may not be far from truth. First, let's go back in time to 2500 BC, the Bronze Age. Indo-Europeans are expanding in all directions, but we find no trace of Finno-Ugrians in these lands yet. Going further east, we have to make a stop by the Altai Mountains. Here lies the eastern end of the Indo-European expansion, the Afanasyevo culture, the ancestors of Tocharians. They are the first pastoralists of East Asia, grazing sheep, cattle and horses. They are also familiar with bronze, using it for tools like knives and axes. 2200 BC. Major climate change sweeps through Eurasia. In the steppe there is a period of drought. While the pastoralist Indo-Europeans are struggling to feed their herds, a new group of people arrives on the Altai from the east to make use of this opportunity. Where exactly did they come from and why is not yet known. What's important is these people speak Proto-Uralic. They are more primitive compared to the Indo-Europeans. They are hunters and fishers, wielding jade and flint instead of metal. This, however, gives them an advantage. They are not affected by the drought. As they settle down among their...
Yeah, they were probably more resistant. Also, I just must say the editing on this video, top notch. If someone edited it like manually, because I used to edit videos and it's not easy, guys.
New neighbors, they adapt quickly, learning to herd animals, ride horses and use bronze, which they call waske. They take quite an interest in metallurgy, as here they come up with two revolutionary inventions in bronze making. See, previously the bronze used in the steppe was not actually bronze, but copper, hardened by changing the metal's arsenic level. But unlike the steppe, the Altai Mountains have tin, which these people use to make true, high-grade bronze. The second invention is lost wax casting. In this process, a wax model is first carefully carved, after which a clay mold is built around it. The wax is then melted and the bronze poured in instead. After the bronze has cooled, the mold is removed, leaving the finished item.
I swear, who came up with this? Who came up with this? Like, it's so smart for them to come up with something like this without like having any previous knowledge.
With this technique, the craftsman has a lot more control over the shape of the cast item, allowing for more details and less polishing. These inventions give birth to an ancient Eurasian bronze trade network referred to as the Seima-Turbino phenomenon. For a while, scientists doubted its connection to the Finno-Ugric people, but recent genetic studies confirmed the old suspicions of many archaeologists. It was this culture that spread the Finno-Ugric languages and people across Europe and Asia. With this new technology, mass bronze production begins. But while things like tools and sculptures are also made, Finno-Ugrians are not content with being simple craftsmen. Instead, the main focus is put into weapons. Spears with these iconic hooks for pulling enemies off their horses, socketed axes with geometric ornaments, daggers with animal-shaped pommels. Finno-Ugrians were ready to begin their expansion.
That's pretty sick. I can't lie. The little... Why do they do that anymore? Why don't they make little animals? I like it.
The strategy was simple. Trade with those who have spears with these iconic hooks for pulling enemies off their horses, socketed axes with geometric ornaments, daggers with animal-shaped pommels. Finno-Ugrians were ready to begin their expansion. The strategy was simple. Trade with those who have something to offer and conquer those who don't. In the east, their wares reach into China and Korea, being adopted by various cultures. Eventually they are used by the Kuifang, people of the Devil's Country, to raid the lands of the Shang dynasty. In the west, following the forest steppe line, Finno-Ugrians come across another Indo-European group, the Indo-Iranians. The drought has forced them to concentrate around rivers in the north and militarize in order to defend their lands, making them a formidable force. They ride horses and war chariots, they build large fortified cities, and they know basic agriculture. In the southern Urals, they are represented by the Sintashta culture, a copper-producing military powerhouse. Finno-Ugrians build good relations with them, and there is active trade between the two cultures. From them, a decent portion of loanwords enter the Finno-Ugric languages. Agricultural and pastoral words such as porchas for pig, kechre for spinning wheel, and peime for milk.
Piimä ja possu. Espérate. Oh, sorry. I started speaking Spanish suddenly. Wait.
A decent portion of loanwords enter the Finno-Ugric languages. Agricultural and pastoral words such as porchas for pig.
Porchas, pig in Finnish is possu.
Kechre for spinning wheel.
Kehra is spinning, isn't it? Spinning wheel, yeah?
And peime for milk.
And piimä is not like milk. It's kind of like old milk. I don't know. Finnish people drink old milk, literally. Like milk that's gone bad. And it's like, it's kind of, I don't really like it. It's not my favorite thing, even though I'm Finnish. But I've drunk it in school and in like kindergarten. Never again, okay? Piimä is not my thing. It's spoiled cow milk, basically, I think. But yeah, I'll just stick to normal milk, thanks.
Across the Urals and the Volga and Kama rivers lie the Indo-Iranic Abashevo and Fatyanovo cultures. Unlike the Sintashta, these people don't have much to offer in terms of trade. A large-scale war breaks out between the Indo-Iranians and the Finno-Ugric newcomers. The end of the Abashevo culture is characterized by mass graves of people killed by arrows with flint heads, the same ones used by the Seima-Turbino culture. By the end of the war, Finno-Ugrians come to rule the Volga and Kama rivers, killing or enslaving the previous Indo-European inhabitants. The self-name of the Indo-Iranians at this time is Aryas, Aryan. This word too is borrowed into Proto-Finno-Permic as Orja, meaning slave. We have to make a quick stop to talk about the nature of the Seima-Turbino phenomenon. The reason it's often not considered a proper culture is because, for one, there are no ceramics associated with it, and for two, we haven't found any of their settlements. The findings are limited to grave sites and weaponry. The reason behind this is that the Finno-Ugrians driving this phenomenon were a small, nomadic group of warriors and merchants. As Finno-Ugrians settled in different regions, they married the local women and adopted their ceramics and ways of life. This is also why Finno-Ugrians have more white Indo-European ancestry the further west you go. Another reason why the phenomenon is hard to trace is because Finno-Ugrians cremated their dead, making archaeological and genetic research difficult. The tradition of cremation lasted a while too. Finns and Estonians started burying their dead only in the 12th century with the coming of Christianity. That's not to say that the dead were forgotten. Memorial altars were built into the ground, decorated with weapons, bone armor, jade discs and other items. Their descendants would visit them regularly,
They started moving so fast and I'm losing track, guys.
honoring their ancestors by feasting and bringing offerings. This tradition too continued for a while. The Mari people to this day build altars for their ancient heroes where they conduct prayers and sacrificial feasts. Continuing where we left off, 1500 BC. The Seima-Turbino era is coming to a close. While most Indo-Iranians have moved south to begin their conquest of Iran and India, some Iranic nomads have stayed in the northern steppe, mixing with Finno-Ugrians as well as Turkic people further east. The Karasuk culture descended from Seima-Turbino is the result of such a mixture. They continue bronze production with Altai tin, trading it to China and the steppe. At this point, the Shang dynasty too has adopted.
I really want to know who came up with like bronze tools and like iron tools. Who came up with that? I don't get it. How, if you didn't, I mean, I guess they used like stones to like hit stuff and then they were like, oh, this could work. Or I don't know, but like, that's so crazy.
Seima-Turbino weapons, and with them tin bronze and lost wax casting, kickstarting the Chinese Bronze Age. Among the Karasuk are the ancestors of Samoyedic people. Yes, those Samoyedic people. The first branch to split off from the Uralic family, at this time living in the Altai and Sayan mountains where some of their descendants would continue to live until modern times. Meanwhile in the west, Finno-Ugrians have split into Ugrians and Finno-Permians, carrying a variety of cultures descended from Seima-Turbino tradition. Ugrians inhabit the forest steppe east of the Urals. The Mainzi and Hanti people as well as Hungarians would later descend from them. West of the Urals, Finno-Permians mainly live around the Volga and Kama rivers. They are the ancestors of Finns, Estonians, Maris, Udmurts and a multitude of other groups.
Whoa, that is so cool. Wait.
The ancestors of Finns, Estonians...
Finno-Permic? Sami is still like a group, right? Of people, right? Yes, it is. But, you know, there's a lot of, they call them Samelized, like Sami people. Samic? I don't know what it would be in English, but interesting.
Maris, Udmurts and a multitude of other groups. Within a few centuries, those hunter-fishers from Northeast Asia have become the producers and sellers of some of the highest quality bronze items in the world, inhabiting a large stretch of land from the Altai Mountains to eastern Finland. Things have calmed down now after such a hectic era and Finno-Ugrians have adapted to life in their new homeland, learning agriculture and slowly transitioning towards a sedentary lifestyle. Hunting and pastoralism remain as the primary ways of subsistence, however. This is also why Finno-Ugrians have concentrated around the border between forest and steppe. Relations with their new Indo-European neighbors are still tense and raids and wars continue. Neither side manages to gain an advantage and the two groups remain at a deadlock for centuries. You might have also noticed that the Carpathian Basin and the Baltic are still inhabited by Indo-Europeans. That all changes when a new, different metal makes its way to the hands of Finno-Ugrians, bringing winds of change once again.
Iron? Or was it already a thing? Gold?
Join me next time as we enter the Iron Age and follow the Finno-Ugric people as they begin their second great expansion.
Come on, man. I wanted to know what that was about. Is it iron? Is it gold? Oh, that was a good catch. This video is very well made.
Join me next time as we enter the Iron Age and follow the Finno-Ugric people as they begin their second great expansion and start forming into the nations we know today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.
That was really interesting. But yeah, that was such a well-made video. Like the editing in that must have been so hard with all the sound effects and everything. Very well made. Impressive. And also the story, like everything. I don't understand how some people have it in them to learn so much, like to be this intelligent, you know? Really cool. And thank you guys for joining me for this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.